Hey guys, so I'm gonna start doing something new in this channel. I'm gonna start doing rankings and reviews of horror series and albums by metal bands I like and stuff. And so I'm gonna start doing this by ranking the Friday 13th franchise. I'm a huge fan of this franchise. I have been for like 5 years now. And so I'm just gonna give you my brief thoughts on them, and what I like and don't like about each film. All right, so my least favorite is the 2009 reboot, which I have a favorite on this, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, so the reason this is my least favorite, I still like it. This series doesn't have an entry that I, hate. But the reason it's my least favorite is the characters really ruined it for me. Like, the guy who's looking for a sister I thought was pretty cool. Clay was his name, and then the girl, Jenna, was cool. But the rest of the characters are just, like, super annoying. The guy who owns the house was an asshole. This other girl was, like, a very annoying. These two other guys are kind of annoying there. And my only other complaint is that Jason, like, kidnaps people, which he never did in the original series. So I don't know why they did that. I understand they want to add something new, but like, kind of felt unneeded. But other than that, I thought it was honestly a pretty strong entry. He has some pretty, gory kills, pretty good kills. Not some of the best series, but pretty good. Um, Derek Mears, I believe his name, he plays Jason. He does a good job. He is pretty smart though in the movie, which usually it's Michael Myers more like him, but it's alright. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, the characters really ruined it for me because other than that, I think it's a pretty strong entry. The atmosphere is good, not great as some of the other ones, but it's good. Um, what else? Yeah, it's just I like it. Honestly, it's one of the better remakes. It's just there's a lot of better entries in the series. If that makes sense. And also, so my brief theory is that so I know it's supposed to be a remake, but I don't really count it as that because besides the beginning that like recaps the first movie, I think that it's honestly like a sequel because so Jason X he gets frozen in 2010, right? Freddy vs. Jason was in 2003. This is in 2009. So you could just assume that besides the beginning that kind of recaps the first movie, he just kind of like was doing his thing. I understand he had the sack on his head at first, but maybe he lost the mask, got it back. You know, that makes sense. So yeah, so my least favorite, the 2009 reboot. All right, so my 11th favorite, even though I still like it, is Jason X right here. This movie is very stupid, honestly. Like it's kind of like I don't want to say a horror comedy, but it has a lot of like cheesy, funny moments. But that's why I like it. Like it's not. It's technically probably the worst in the series, but I still like it. Kane Hodder plays Jason. He's my favorite actor who played him. He does a great job, obviously, and he has a new look, the cyborg Jason look, like towards the end. I thought that was great. The characters are annoying. They talk, but they have a weird dialogue. I understand it's supposed to be like futuristic, but I don't really like it. Like besides the one girl who's like frozen, like with Jason along with Jason 2010, the rest of the characters kind of annoying, but it makes it more satisfying when they get what's coming, I guess. But yeah, Jason's done great. It has a lot of like funny moments in space, which is also why I like it. A lot of like weird corny stuff. But it is still a pretty stupid movie, which is why it's this slow. And the whole space setting I never really liked, like Hellraiser, Bloodline, Leprechaun 4. Like yeah. But this is probably the best out of all those movies, honestly. Maybe Hellraiser, Bloodline, like more. I don't know. But yeah, it's still pretty good though. It's a lot of fun. Has one of the best kills in the series. The where he like freezes the girl head. That was awesome. Jason's still great. Just it's very stupid and very cheesy, but in a good way mostly. So yeah, I will say still check it out though. I like it. It just there's a lot of better entries. The atmosphere also is one of my favorites in the series. But yeah, so my 10th favorite, I'm gonna go with Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. This one's very different than the other ones. It's probably the most different in the series. Jason X probably being second. Like it's not just because it doesn't take place at Camp Crystal Lake, part 8 in the year. It's just like they introduced a lot of new rules because, like, well, spoiler, one of the rules, spoiler alert, my bad, is that Jason can possess people now, which I thought was cool. I have a theory on that I'll get to later. And so throughout the movie, multiple people played him. Like the guy who works at the hospital plays him. I like the way he played him. The cop plays him. He was a bit, I don't know, he was alright. And the new boyfriend of like one of Jason's unnecessary family members, which I'm not gonna give away the title of those family members, but they were just all unnecessary. That's one of the complaints I have about this movie. What do you call it? He did a fine job, I think. Kane Hodder though plays Jason, also real Jason, throughout to the beginning and the end of the movie, and I liked the way he played him. Obviously, he's always great. He had a great look too. I really wish we could see him more. Like the whole idea of other people playing him was cool, but maybe a bit more of it besides the beginning and the end. There's also a new character introduced, Crane Duke. I like him. He's one of my favorite characters in the series. Honestly, I wish we could have seen more of him. Like we see him a decent amount, but I wish they could have focused on him more. The main character is kind of like the now ex boyfriend of one of Jason's family members, which he was alright, but Crane Duke I liked a lot more. I thought his story was very cool, and the way to kill Jason's kind of stupid. Like you have to use this like dagger, which I don't know. It's kind of weird, and also he's like a little worm in this one. Like when he hops into other people's bodies, which I also thought was kind of funny. But it has some very good kills though. Like some of the best in the series, honestly. Some of those brutal. The unrated version is better. I only seen the rated version. Once seen the unrated version like 3 times. It is better. It's very gory. A lot of very good kills. Like when the woman gets cut in half, that's one of the best kills in the series. Um, and he's very strong, obviously, very badass in this one. Even when other people play him, referring to Jason, obviously. Uh, and yeah, I like this movie. It's very different in both a good and bad way. I also feel like at times it tries too hard to be better than what it actually is. If that makes sense. But it's still good though. I like it. It's just it is very different from the others, which is both good and bad in some ways. And so I still like it. I'll still say check it out. Um, what else do I have to say about it? That's honestly pretty much it. It's pretty good. It's just again, it's better entries and there's the unnecessary family members and some of the other things. Him being a worm, which is kind of stupid for me. But yeah, I still like it though. I think it's underrated. All right, so my 9 favorite. Now we're getting to the movies that I really love. Uh, Freddy vs. Jason, which I have with New Nightmare. I have just Freddy movies, but yeah, Freddy vs. Jason. Uh, so this is more of like a Freddy film than a Jason film, I would say. But it's still, you can still tell it's a Jason movie. It's not like, it's all about Freddy and Jason's just like in there sometimes. Like, at the beginning it's really like, it feels like a Friday movie. Like it takes place to like, I don't know if it's Camp Crystal, like I think it is. And like, Jason like gets revived. I thought that was cool. He's not played by Kane Hodder though in this one, Sal. He's played by Ken Kiringer, whatever his name is. I thought he did a good job. Not as good as Kane Hodder, obviously, which I wish he could have played in this one. But still played him fine. Not one of my favorites, but not bad. Um, yeah, so he plays him. What's weird is though, even though it is more of a Freddy film, it's about him trying to get back to like being himself. Jason kills a lot more people. Freddy only has 1 kill, I think. Jason has like I don't know 10, 9, around there, maybe more, maybe a bit less. I don't know, like a decent number. There's like a cool scene, like a party where he shows up and like slaughters them all, and they kind of use him as the good guy, but also not the good guy. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. Star Wars kind of a cool subplot. It makes sense considering that they're in Springwood. What else do I like about it? When they fight, it's great. Like when they square off, both in the dream world where Freddy has like the advantage, and like in Campus Lake when Jason has the advantage. It's great to see like both of them have their times to shine to fight, and it's just awesome. Now what I don't like about this one is honestly that the characters are all like very annoying. As you can tell, I care about the characters in the movie a lot, and like my least favorite, I said the characters all kind of annoy me. Like let's see, like the main girl Lori, I believe was her name. I liked her. The guy who like escaped from a mental asylum, he's like interested in her. He was also alright. The rest of them were very like early 2000s generic in my opinion. Like, they all get what's coming, which is good, but like I don't know, they were all kind of like basic and like, not very thought out. But main girl Lori and the other guy, I thought they were cool. But it's still a very good intro. I think it's kind of underrated. At times people say like, oh, it could have been much better. I guess maybe a couple of things, but I thought it was great. We get to see both Freddy and Jason have their moments. The focus is on both of them a decent amount, mainly Freddy, but still. I'll talk about it more as like a Freddy film when I do an Nightmare on Elm Street video eventually. That's not gonna be the next video I do, but like I'll do it eventually. I'll talk about it then. All right, so now we're getting to like what I call the Elite Eight. That's what people might say. I think these are like the Elite Eight. Freddy vs. Jason is great, but these are it. So yeah, my 8th favorite is Friday 13th Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. I think this one is super underrated. Like a lot of lists I see, it's like 12th or 11th. Like they have Jason X above it, and like I like Jason X, but come on, like this is a great movie. Like a great movie. Like I mean by great I mean like a great Jason movie. I know it's not a technically great movie like The Godfather or Goodfellas or Terminator 2, but like as a Friday movie, it's great. Kane Hodder, the returns. He's great as Jason, obviously. My favorite Jason, as I said. He's badass as ever. Unstoppable as always in this one. The main girl Rennie, I liked a lot. I thought she was cool. She has like hallucinations at times and stuff. At times and stuff, but I liked her a lot. The uncle I couldn't stand, but like, he got what's going. His death was pretty funny. And also a complaint that I've seen is that he's not Manhattan enough. Which, yes, I wish he was too, honestly. But like on the cruise ship was kind of cool. It's better. Like at this point, him always being at Camp Crystal Lake sorry, was kind of getting old in some ways, and so him being on the cruise ship was cool. Um, what do you call it? There's some decent characters. The girl who plays guitar, I liked. The guy who's like trying to get into film school was cool. This other guy was like a fighter. His death was pretty funny. He's cool. Um, there's actually two fighters. The guy who like gets killed on the roof in Manhattan. I think if you see, you know what I mean. He was cool. Uh, let's see what else do I like about it. Yeah, the kills are some of the best. Not some of the best in the series, but like pretty good. The opening kill is like great. That's one of my favorites in the series. I also like, as I said, the main girl Rennie. I liked. There's nothing I don't like about it, honestly. Just there's better entries. Like I would give it like an 8 out of 10. Like my only complaint is that yeah, he could have been Manhattan more, and it just there's better entries. That's the way I'd explain it. Like it's great, but like there's better entries. Kind of like Injustice for All is a great album, but there's better Metallica albums. If that makes sense. So yeah, Part 8 very underrated. And I also seen a complaint that it's actually Vancouver, not Manhattan, mostly. Which I mean, I guess it's kind of annoying, but who cares? It's still a big city, and there's still some very funny scenes when he gets there. So yeah, Jason's done great. The ending was kind of stupid where he turns to a little boy, but I think that was a hallucination from Rennie. So yeah, all right, my seventh favorite, Part 7, The New Blood. Which I know seventh favorite might sound like it's kind of mediocre, but it's not. It's great. It's one of the best in the series, honestly. Just the Elite Eight, as I call them, are just all great. Part 7, I really liked. No, Part 7, The New Blood. First one, Kane Hodder plays Jason, and just great seeing him. The unmasked look for him in this one is top notch. Like the makeup effects are still better than anything we have today. It's amazing. I don't know how they did that, but it's awesome. The main girl Tina, I liked her a lot. She has like abilities to move things from line like Carrie does, which is actually called Jason. A lot of people call her Jason versus Carrie, which is cool. I liked her. It's a good match for Jason. Uh, Her doctor I couldn't stand, like, but he does get what's coming though. Not maybe in the brutal as I like, but he still gets it. It has one of my favorite kills in this series, the sleeping bag kill. I thought that was great. Uh, like Kane Hodder, like he really liked playing Jason because like the other actors were all kind of like whatever about it, but like he actually he played in multiple movies. The only actor who did that, and he like he talked about some ways that like some changes to make into like the script and all. Like he would be like Jason would actually do that instead of this, which is awesome. He really likes that role, and was he did a great job in this one. Obviously, it's the best movie that he was in as Jason. Which a lot of people say he was on the bad entries, which I honestly like all the ones he was in, even though Jason X is a bit lesser. But yeah, so anyway, the main girl Tina was cool. The guy who like has like an interest in her sort of he was cool, but the rest of the characters they're kind of assholes. Like I understand, like I can understand why they make fun of Tina, but I also don't. I kind of think it's douchey a little. I can understand like that's a lot of like a lot of teenagers are like that, but I don't know. I just I wanted to see them all die honestly, and they all did. There's this one girl, annoying girl Melissa. Like I really couldn't stand her, but thankfully she got what's going. Um, pretty good way from pretty good way. Like unmasking was great. The way Jason dies was I didn't really like it. Like basically um, what happens is like her like spoiler her so she calls the devil her dad, right? And so he comes back, her dad, to like rescue Jason from her. I hope that's some kind of like a hallucination or something. Like maybe it was just something else. Cause like that was just kind of dumb. But other than that, I really liked it. I thought it was great. A lot of great kills, great atmosphere, a lot of fun. It's just again, uh, some better entries. My sixth favorite, Part 2. I love this movie though. Like I honestly think it's great. My only complaint about it is that at times it feels like it tries too hard to be like the first movie, which I can see why. But like you know, the other ones didn't really do that. So that's a light complaint. And also my other light complaint is that I wish they explained more about how like Jason came back. They just kind of like brush it off as like oh yeah uh, Jason's here, surprise whatever. I wish they like explained more. But other than that, I thought it was great. The main girl Jenny might be best final girl in the series. Yeah, Part 2. I don't know. Yeah, the main girl Jenny might be best main girl in the series. Honestly, The guy Paul was cool. The camp counselors were very cool. I liked all of them. Doesn't have any annoying characters like some of the others do, that which, as you notice, I don't really like. But there's no character that like I didn't like in this one. I will say though, Jason is probably my least favorite Jason though, but I give them a pass because at the time, the character was not developed at all, so you can't really expect him to be like he was in, part 6 or part 7 or something, because, he was like a fleshed out, new character. So it's understandable. Steve Dash, who passed away a couple years ago, rest in peace. Not his fault. Just Jason was developed, so I forget him. He has some one of my favorite kills in the series. The guy on the wheelchair. I thought that was great. Some other decent kills as well. The councils were cool. It takes place 5 years after the original. The main girl Alice from the original, the beginning, well, spoiler alert, she gets she gets it from Jason, for revenge. What she did in the first one, which I'll get to later. I want to talk about the first movie. So that was awesome in my opinion. Uh, I also liked everything about it, honestly. Just besides the fact they don't explain much and try to sort of be with the first movie, I think it's great. I think it's like almost a perfect movie. I give it like a 9 out of 10. It's just my sixth favorite because there's entries that I like slightly better. So yeah, part two, definitely check it out. It's a great follow up. A lot of great atmosphere, great counselors, just better entries. All right, my fifth favorite, part five. Now this is part five. This is the most underrated entry in the series. I've seen it almost every list I see. It's last or second to last, and the only reason is, and honestly, the only reason is, a little spoiler alert, Jason supposedly isn't the killer, but I think he is, as I said, because in Jason Goes to Hell he can possess people. So the guy was supposed to be a normal guy, it's a normal human. I think he gets possessed by Jason, and it makes sense, because how would they know without previous events? This is the previous events. That's how Crane Duke knew. It makes sense. The gaps can be filled in there, and this one has some of the best atmosphere in the series. Honestly, it also has some very good characters. Tommy from Part 4 returns. He's like almost a adult in this one. I think he's like 17 or 16. He's played by John Shepard. It might be one of his favorite Tommy, but I still liked him. I still thought he was cool. He's kind of like not silent, but it's a bit awkward in this one, but it's understandable why, considering what he went through. Uh, he was still cool. The kid Reggie was cool. At times it's a bit annoying, but kids in horror movies are annoying a lot of times, so I can forgive him. And mostly he wasn't, so just little times was, but it's not a complaint. The main girl Pam was a bit bland. I didn't hate her or anything, but I just thought like she could have been a bit more fleshed out, but she really wasn't. She was kind of like like generic, whatever. But she didn't really have much personality. Just kind of like working there at this place for like troubled teens. Uh, some very good characters. This one, like what's the name? The girl Violet, I thought was pretty cool. I wish we got to see more of her. The other girl, who had like the famous nude scene, which I don't really care about. But a lot of people do. Uh, she's played by the actress's last name is Voorhees. I think Debbie Sue Voorhees. Her hair character I didn't really have. I thought was kind of cool. Um, what else? The old guy, Reggie's grandpa, who works there. I liked him. We didn't see much of him, but when he died, I thought he was funny. Not funny, fun. Didn't have a problem with him. Yeah, I like that. There's some like weird hillbilly people that are comic relief. They made me chuckle a bit. I'm sort of stunned a little bit. I don't know why, but yeah, they were cool. I also liked what do you call it? That's pretty much that's all that I liked about it. There's nothing that I don't like, but also so Tom Morga plays the killer was not Jason, and also Jason in like hallucinations and stuff for when Tommy has them, and he did a pretty good job. It's probably my fifth favorite to like play Jason because yes, I'm calling him Jason after the big four as I call them. Kane Hodder, C.J. Graham, Ted White, and Richard Brooks. Probably my fifth favorite. He did a good job. And also for being a normal human, he sort of puts up with a lot. Supposedly a normal human, because I don't think he is. Like takes a lot of crap and still gets back up to kill his victims, which is why I think it's also Jason. It's not like he was like Leatherface or like if he gets stabbed he actually has like a hard time recovering at first. Like he really didn't. He was great. So yeah, I think it is Jason, and I think the atmosphere is great in this one. I think let's say they said it was Jason. Let's just say yeah, Jason's back and the whole subplot of like it not being him is just gone. I think this would easily be in people's top 6, top 5, because it's great. I love it. For what a while it was actually my second favorite in the series, but I rewatched them to do this because when I like do a video like this, I'm gonna have to either rewatch or re-listen when I do albums because just in case I have a new opinion, just to like have them fresh in my mind. And so yeah, um, it was my second favorite, and it did go down a little. Not because I thought it was I overrated it, just because I underrated some of the others. But yeah, part five, great. The killer was not Jason. Was great. What else was great? The characters, like besides Pam was a bit boring, but still wasn't bad. It was great. Were great. Everything about it is just great. Some very good kills in this one also. I forgot to mention that. Great kills. Some of my favorite in the series. So yeah, definitely check this one out. Part five. All right, my fourth favorite, and it seems that this is in everybody's top four from what I've seen. Uh, from what I've seen, I mean like from true like horror fans. 'Cause, like when you look at the list on like these websites that do like all movies, they kind of crap on like all of them pretty much. Besides like a couple, because I don't know, because they're not technically great, but I don't care. All right, in my opinion, they're technically great. All right, my fourth favorite, part three. I really love this one. Richard Brooker plays Jason. He's one of my probably my fourth favorite, but honestly, it's probably second favorite because the first three are tied for first. Honestly, he's probably technically my second favorite. I love the way he played him. This is where he really became Jason. Like not quite, but like almost. By Jason I mean like the Jason we all know and love. He wasn't an undead zombie yet. That's in part six, but he was he was very hard to kill, very badass, very could put up with anything in this one. Part four even more. Part two was still developing, but in this one yeah he was great. He gets his iconic hockey mask in this one. Part two he didn't have that, and this one he does, and it's great when he puts it on. It's such a great fit. Right here. Um, yeah, that was great. The characters are pretty cool. It takes place like a day after part two, because part two, three, and four, two, three, four, all take place like in a 3 4 day span, and so immediately after part two ends, these like these teenagers like going to like party. They're not camp counselors. They're going there, and they all get beheaded one by one. The prankster, what's his name, Shelly? I liked he was pretty funny. I liked some of the other characters there. Was like this Hispanic girl, I think, who was like, yeah, she was speaking Spanish. I assume she was. She was cool. Some pretty other decent characters. The main girl, Chris, though, she was kind of might be one of my least favorites because she what do you call it? How do I explain? She's kind of like a bit soft. Like if that makes sense. I can't explain. She's just like kind of soft. I know like final girls aren't supposed to be like super tough or anything like Sarah Connor, but like I don't know. I feel like she could have been done better. And she had a previous encounter with Jason. The that I thought was pretty cool. I wish they could have maybe gone a bit more in depth about that. Somehow explain like where he came from, but that's asking a bit too much. But yeah, it was still pretty cool to hear about that. Uh, she is still one of my least favorite final characters, but as Richard Brooker was great. The kills are pretty good, but I will say though, this one was released in 3D. As you can see, part three, 3D, and it has the glasses here. At times they try a bit too hard with it. I understand 1982, 3D was like a much bigger deal than it is now. Like at times it's like very like cheesy and kind of ruins the kind of makes it look more unrealistic. But I forgive them mostly because at the time it was different than it will be now. So it's fine. That's the light complaint. But it's a great entry. I honestly give it a 10 out of 10. It's a great slasher movie. Some great kills. A great atmosphere as always in the early ones. Richard Brooker's great. It was great seeing him get his iconic hockey mask. Chris, the main character, could have been better, but it's still fine. She's not like horrible or anything. Just one of my least favorites. So yeah, part four. Not my bad. Part three, my fourth favorite. All right, my third favorite. Part six, Jason Lives. I love this entry, honestly. Like, Tommy's back. Kind of ignores part five. There's no references to it, but I assume it does follow it, because there's no evidence to suggest it doesn't. So suggest it doesn't. This time he's played by Tom Matthews, who's my favorite Tommy, because it's kind of like it's kind of what I wanted him to be in part five. I wanted him to like have that like the trauma of Jason, but like still have some like personality and like stuff. Like in part five, he really didn't. And a lot of times, he was just kind of like a bit more like stiff and all. Like this one, he's a bit more opened up, and he has a romantic interest. A girl named what's her name? Megan. She's like the daughter of the sheriff. I liked her character a lot. She was pretty cool. And this time his camp counselor's there again, and there's actually kids there. Jason does not go after them, which people complain about. I didn't, because Jason is mentally mentally retarded. So I think he might have a mindset where he's like he might think of himself as a kid. That makes sense. So I can see why he didn't go after them, and plus he knows like teenagers were responsible for stuff, not really kids. So you know, I can I don't have a complaint about that basically. And also, what do you call it? C.J. Graham plays Jason, and he does a great job. Like he's tied for my favorite along with Ted White and King Hunter. Like he was great, and you know the look he has in Undead Zombie is amazing. Like, when he gets out the grave, it's great. It's just like bone, you can see his bones and stuff, and like it just wow, it's great. And the girl Megan was cool. Tommy was cool. The sheriff at times got a bit on my nerves, but not as much as some of the other characters did in this series because I can kind of see where he's coming from with some of his annoyingness, sort of. So it's all right. The counselors were pretty cool. There's also like this like paintball squad that gets like killed. That was pretty cool. Very good deaths in this one. Uh, Jason's done great. It's a lot of fun. Has the song "Man Behind the Mask" by Alice Cooper at the end. That's a great song. I love that one. Probably one of my favorite songs. It's very fun. Very good song. So yeah, part 6. Great entry. All right. So my third favorite, the final chapter, which it's kind of a funny title looking back at it now because it got 8 sequels, which has some counting the 2009 one as a sequel, not a reboot or remake. Yeah, this one's great. Ted White plays Jason, and you know he's awesome. Like, and this one he becomes Jason that we all know and love even more than Richard Brooker did in part 3. Like he's just like amazing in this one. He's very like pissed off, very like big and like like hulking and like not hulking. I guess you could say that, just like badass basically. And this time the main character is a Tommy, a young Tommy. He's only like 12. Yeah, he's 12 I think, 12 or 13 or 11 around there. And he's played by Corey Feldman, popular actor in the 80s, and I really like his character. We get to see multiple entries. I like him as a young boy a lot. Part 6 I liked him a bit more, but in this one, I also loved him. I also liked his sister Trish was not a bad character, and the kids that are there partying. I don't think they're counselors. I think they're just like partying. They might be counselors. Maybe they are. I think they were just partying though. They were pretty cool. The guy who plays George McFly was and I don't know his name. He was funny. There's also some other decent characters. A lot of very good kills in this one. The atmosphere is great. Jason's great. Tommy's a great character. His sister was pretty cool. And yeah, there's nothing I have the bad to say about this one. It's a perfect movie, honestly. It's my second favorite for a reason. Like, it's just a great entry. And yeah, final chapter, or part 4, as it should be called now. Really good entry. Like a great movie, honestly. One of my favorite horror movies in general. But with that said, my favorite is the original. And actually, it's my favorite horror movie of all time. I love this movie, honestly. I don't have any complaints about it. I know Jason was only like a reference. In this one, spoiler alert, the killer in this one is a whodunit slasher because that was popular in the 80s. And this was actually all filmed and produced in 79. It takes place in 79. The killer is his mother. If you haven't seen it, I told you not to watch, so it's your fault. The killer is his mom, and we don't know though. There's no evidence to suggest that said the guy explains it briefly. So, there's a crazy guy, Ralph, who's pretty funny also in part 2. But anyway, I just love this movie. The characters are all great in my opinion. The counselors, the main girl, Alice, probably not my favorite in the series, but maybe my second favorite? Maybe third favorite. I like Tina maybe a bit more. But it's not about her. Like, the other counselors were cool. Kevin Bacon's in it, his first movie. He was pretty cool. The atmosphere is definitely the best atmosphere in the series. It's very, I won't say very scary, because movies don't scare me, but it is pretty scary, very spooky. The soundtrack, is, in this one, it really sets the tone, in my opinion. The kills are very good. It has made my favorite kill in the series, the sphere kill to Kevin Bacon's character. That was amazing. The effects are still very good. The axe in the head to the one girl that he was, having sex with, that was a very good kill as well. And once, Pamela Voorhees reveals that, she's the one doing the killing at the end of the movie, it was great. A great sequence, and Betsy Palmer, in that, rest in peace, in that, 10-minute span, I think, did a great job. Not a long performance, but still, very, I won't say iconic, but very good performance. And I've seen complaints that it's kind of like a Halloween ripoff, which you can tell at times it does try to be like Halloween, but it's still its own thing in my opinion. It's not really it's not a typical 80s slasher The Prowler or Night School or Terror Train, Graduation Day. I love all those movies, by the way. I have all of them. Reviews of those coming very soon. Not very soon, but soon. Because next I'm probably gonna do Iron Maiden album strength or Metallica or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, the atmosphere in this one is great. The acting is honestly pretty good for a movie around this time, like with a low budget. Uh, what else do I like about it? The kills are great. Uh, Directing, it's probably the best directing in the series, honestly. That was cool. There's no like big name director is really like Dundee's. In fact, the only director that's directed the movie twice, multiple movies. This one is Steve Miner did part 2 and 3. Other than that, it's always like a different guy. But yeah, this one's probably the best directed. Probably the best written. It's just great. I love everything about it. It's probably my third favorite movie in general after the first two Terminator movies. My favorite horror movie for sure. I love the original Halloween. I love the original Nightmare on Elm Street. The original Texas Chainsaw. The original Psycho. But this is like yeah. I love 80s slashers. I know it's like late 70s or late 70s and 80s slashers. I love those movies, and this is like the best one. Like I know Halloween is probably technically a better movie. Texas Chainsaw is probably technically better, but this is just my personal favorite. It's a lot of fun. It's great. Like there's nothing bad I have to say about it at all. I don't care if like it's not really even dated. Like some movies you could argue a bit dated. This one it really isn't. Like it still holds up in my opinion. And yeah, this everything about it is great in my opinion. I love it. And I'll always defend it. And I just think it's kind of underrated at times. Like because like normally the originals are always first people's ranking. This one is usually it is a lot of times, but a lot of times it's like second or third, which I can see why. I can see preferring the final chapter, part 6. But I don't know, I think this one's just a lot more superior. I just love it. I have nothing bad to say about it. And it'll probably always be my favorite horror movie. Like there's a lot of horror movies that I love. Obviously, I have like about 300, uh, and the collection's always growing. But yeah, this one's just it's an amazing movie. When I first saw it, I thought it was great, and I still love it. It's the only out of all the slasher movies, the who done it ones. This is the one where it's like you have the least like smallest clue. Like Night School, I'll just give an example, a couple examples. Night School, you can guess it pretty easy. Terror Train, super easy. Slaughter High wasn't a who done it, was it? I'm not sure. What's the other one? Graduation Day, you definitely guess. A couple others. And this one, you really can't unless you just figure, well, it's not the crazy guy Ralph, and they mentioned that little boy Jason, so maybe it's like a family member, but I don't know. I did not see it coming at all, and I was confused because I knew it was a long franchise featuring Jason, and so but Jason wasn't the cover, so I was like, oh, interesting. I was like, maybe they like wanted to keep him in the shadows, but then I realized like, oh wow. So yeah, a great movie. I think I spent enough time on it. It's just a great horror movie, great slasher movie. I don't care if there's like a lot. I don't care if it's not one of the 100 greatest movies ever made. It's in my opinion, it's the greatest horror movie ever made, and one of my favorite movies just in general. It's my third favorite in general. And only the first two Terminators are like more end. Horror movie wise, my favorite. Halloween's close, Nightmare on Elm Street's close, Texas Chainsaw's close, Psycho's close, Hellraiser is close, but nothing holds up to this one. I love this movie, and yeah, this is a great series. I would recommend all these movies. The first four are great. The other four are great. Like there's nothing bad, no bad entry in my opinion. Definitely lesser ones for sure, but all of it is great. And it's also like one of the least convoluted. Besides a couple like super minor issues, they all go pretty well. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Freddy vs. Jason. The reboot, which is debatable in my opinion, it does count. And then Jason X. If not, it won't count it. Then just Freddy vs. Jason X, whatever. Like, because, Texas Chainsaw, the continuity is just terrible. Halloween is a bunch of timelines. Nightmare on Elm Street's pretty good besides a couple minor things. This one, it's, all, they all follow each other. And as far as the future of the series goes, which they were supposed to make a movie, it was supposed to be like some, like, loose sequel, then it was supposed to be, like, a remake, not doing anything, apparently. I want it to be, like, I want, like, some of it to be a prequel, but I also want it to be just, like, a new story with Jason, kind of like Halloween 2018. And I want it to take place after Freddy vs. Jason. Like, unless they can somehow make it canonical to the remake. They can't make it canonical Jason X unless it's in space, which I don't want it to be in space. As much as that was fun and all, I don't want it to be in space. I don't want a Jason X too. So, what I would do is just have it set in present day. Have, like, maybe Tommy return, maybe Tina return, maybe Jenny, somebody return. And have Jason, come back. And have some references to previous movies. Definitely the first 8. Maybe Jason Goes to Hell. Maybe Freddy vs. Jason. And if you somehow can find a way to tie in the remake too, if not, it's fine. But yeah, just have the new story with Jason with some loose, continuity, some loose references to previous entries. And don't try too hard to, make it strictly follow some. So yeah, have a returning character. Maybe have it set during like the winter time. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe during the fall time, something like that. That'll be kind of cool because it's always during the summer. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit and have it take place Krampus to like again. So yeah, that's what I would like to see. I don't even know if we're gonna get another Friday movie ever. I hope we do, and I hope it's not a remake or a reboot or something. I hope it like follows the other movies, but I don't know. I guess we'll see in the coming years what we get. But yeah, so thank you for watching this video. Let me know if you read my ranking, if you think my ranking sucks and I shouldn't watch it. Let me know why. Let me know your ranking in the comments. If you haven't seen these movies, definitely check them out. Because, you know, unless you're like one of those movie critics that only likes technically made movies, you won't be disappointed. They're a lot of fun. You know, I'll have, you know, decent things about them. Character of Jason's probably my favorite horror villain. Freddie's gross, Michael Myers gross, like Leatherface, like Chucky, but Jason's just amazing. I gotta love him. And what else do I have to say? My next video will probably be a ranking of Metallica albums. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna do Iron Maiden because they have like 16 albums. Metallica has 10, and I've honestly heard all of them like so many times, but I'm still probably gonna listen to them again just because they're my favorite band. So yeah, look out for that. Probably coming soon. And after that, I might do the Halloween movies. Yeah, next videos I'm gonna do like this, or Metallica albums and the Halloween albums, and then probably some other, you know, band. But yeah, so thank you for watching this. Let me know if you liked it or not. I'm still gonna, even if this doesn't get a lot of views, I'm gonna keep trying to do this because I really want to like discuss some of my opinions and stuff. But yeah, definitely check these movies out and be on the lookout for more rankings and soon to be reviews after I get some rankings out the way. I like bands and horror series, like the big ones. But yeah, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos like this and also more drum covers. And as far as a new CD collection up to do, because I know you guys ask about those, I can't really do it because the last one I did was like last summer, and I would have to like rewatch all of that. It's a long video. I don't really like watching my own videos, by the way. I don't like watching myself, so I would have to rewatch that, and then I have to like figure out when I show this, when I get this. Like I don't know. I'll try. I might try to do it. I don't know. I'm not gonna do another video showing the whole collection because I have like 650, so that'll be insane. I can't really do that. I could try, but it could be multi-part, but that would be dumb. I'm probably gonna. I'm gonna try to do a new update. I don't know when, but I'll try my best. But anyway, yeah. So stay tuned for more drum covers, more ranking videos and reviews soon to be, and hopefully a new CD video. I'll try to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting my videos and stuff. And yeah, alright, guys. See you next time.